Welcome back to another video. Andrew Penman with you here, and today we're unboxing Carpuride's W103 Pro with a dual Bluetooth. We're going to install this and fully test it out. I'm very happy with these products. I'm happy to review them. Big thank you to Jack and the team at Carpuride for providing this today, and I'm so excited to be putting it in this very iconic and unique and now equally rare BMW i3, and we're going to put it in a place that's extremely functional and different and special. So check that out if you're a BMW i3 owner. A big thank you to BMW Munich and BMW Australia in association and partnership with Red Bull for providing this car to the channel and for me to review it, as well as reviewing things like this on the car. I'm very excited. So if you are a BMW i3 owner and you've got one of these carbon fiber frameless systems of electric sports power, check out the channel, and let's not waste any more time. Let's jump right in and let's roll the intro. Okay, here we are. We're in the i3 and we got the W103 Pro. So a lot of numbers there. So we open up, have a look at it now. It is a decent sized screen. I've gone for this size, which is the 10 inches by 4 or 9¾ by just under 4. It is the exact same size as the screen on the i3, which keeps it uniform. It keeps it looking exactly how you want the aesthetics of this thing to look, as if it's factory fit. So here it is. Here's the Carpuride. We're going to cover that up with a BMW modification to that. But you can see it's the exact same size as the exactly the same size. Look at exactly the same screen as the iDrive, which means it's uniformity and it looks neat when it goes in. Look, you can't really here. It's not going to work. Not going to work over here. It's not going to work anywhere at the back. Over here, it just will look stupid. Today we'll be putting it in down here between the wheel well. I'm going to put you out of misery, and you're going to actually see the gallery before and after now with some music, so you can see what you're going to get. If you like that look, continue watching the video for the full installation and the planning and all the preparation. It's about a 15 to 18 minute install. It's pretty straightforward, pretty quick, no cameras. Yeah, but it's going to be one hell of a fantastic install on this, and it's going to look really, really good. So let's get into it. Let's take you through a gallery of before and after, how it looks in the car and how great it looks, and we'll check that out right now. Okay, here we have it. This is the Carpuride 103 Pro. Let's open it up, have a look at it. Well, there she is. This is a 10.3 inch display by 4.5, I think it is. Have a look at it. Oh yes, very nice. I like the fact it's got a nice small beveled edge on here, so when it's side on, you sort of get that impression it's quite thin. on-off switch on the top. Inputs there. From the side you have your obviously power in, you got your USB in, you got your audio out to the sound system of your car, you got your camera in for reverse camera, you've got your micro USB which hasn't got one in standard, and then you've got your microphone. Look, people have talked about the Carpuride labeling on here. A lot of companies don't have it on, so it's just black. So for this particular purpose, I'm going to do something a little bit different. I've already ordered them, these limited edition sort of badges. They're all clear. I've got some beautiful BMW badges. I'll put one on the end there. So that's the screen. Let's see what else is in here. Instruction product manual for the reverse camera. We've got the booklet. I've talked before about this booklet. It's a really high quality booklet. You can see it gets all the wiring for the camera. It is a beautifully refined booklet, high gloss. In the rest of the box, you'll have your, that's the adapter I'm going to be using for my mounting system on the i3. There's your power lead there, but unfortunately on the i3, the cigarette lighter is in front of the, we're going to mount the screen, so it has to go hidden with a lug for the earth. And we're going to buy one of these, which I've already bought, double fuse piggyback. And I'll show you how to mount that. So that end will be cut off, and these two will go on the end to mount in the fuse box. There's a cable for the audio. There's your camera. These are a high quality camera, by the way. They're really nice. All just plug and play. Picks up the earth or the neutral active from the actual head unit. So you only have the one wire going to the I've done it before in the BMW. If you haven't seen that, check out in the corner here that video on the BMW 118i. Reverse camera full install. Very easy. You can do it in 35 minutes. Then the magnetic plate there. So that's the unbox, guys. That's it. So this is the overview. This is all you'll need to do this job. It'll take 18 minutes max. Get yourself a good floodlight. There's the head unit, as you can see. That's the plug that goes in. That'll be that standard end of the thing. This is the cigarette lighter adapter from the Carpuride. You can't change, it's 5 volts. Do not try and cut this and send it to 12 volts. You'll blow the system. So just leave that. That gets put on the dash. You'll need to buy this female I'll show you in a second. There's the instruction booklets. Yep, there's the drill. You'll need one of these drills, a drill bit, just to drill through the panel very lightly. There's these badges I was talking about. I'll provide a link in the description field for those, so they'll cover up the Carpuride, look a bit more finished. I got these carbon core badges. I'll provide a link for those too. They're like 3D carbon, real carbon core, and because the BMW's carbon core, it's a great thing to have to fix up that if you want to take this off to hide the issue. Now you get this part from Amazon, link provided in the description field for that. That'll fuse protect this circuit as well as the existing auxiliary circuit. You just take it out, plug it into this fuse 127, and that will provide the power supply. Just get a lug from an electrical shop or hardware store, just crimp it with pliers and heat shrink it, and that is your power supply going to this, which you'll buy from Amazon, a female adapter. There, I've got two for $7. A nice clean one, fits in tight. No need to worry too much about taping up, but I will tape anyway. And of course, you just plug in your Carpuride into it. Look how tight that is. It doesn't move, but I taped it anyway, so it doesn't move, and that gets tucked on the dash. And of course the other ends go onto the fuse box and the lug. I'll show you where the earth lug is. It's a great little neat spot under the dash. That's all you need, guys. Okay, so now I'm going to put the labelling on. I said the limited edition badge goes on across here to hide that. BMW badge will look really nice, so we'll just make that more appealing. Let's get into it. And we need some 100% alcohol, and I'll do it first. I'll come back and show you the finished product. So just cut them off with the scissors. Keep that one for obviously later. And then take one of these out. Want to just cut one of these off out for a reason, and then put those back in plastic bag. So you got your two things to mount. Let's get on with it, and I'll just go offline to get this dead accurate, and I'll come back. Okay, all done. I think you'll agree it came up really well, as you can see there. Yeah, it looks exceptional. You can see there. I'll try and get better focus for you. Yeah, so you can see that. Looks like it's, you know, part of the actual unit. Okay, we're in the car. So there's the unit. Now, it's going to sit in this wheel well area, which has no wheel well and no transmission shaft. I like it here. It's hidden away, and it's the exact size of the upper screen, so it looks uniform. Right now, just play around with, that's what's going to put it. The bracket now has a double-side tape, as you can see on the side here, and it clicks in beautifully to the actual unit. That's the angle you're going to want. And this is the bracket, the way you'll put it. The more bigger end of the bracket at the bottom to add leverage, because you're putting 2 screws at the top only. And then the weight of the unit will push down and do that leverage action and hold it. You're only putting 2 screws in the dash, or the wall dash there. If you do want to take it out one day or sell it, you put 2 of the light blue screws in there, and then all you do is put that carbon core badge in between it, and it look awesome. It look like a normal upgrade package sort of labeling. That's how it's going to look. So you can see it's going to look quite nice in that position there. Now, to get it into position, this is what you need to do. Get some masking tape, electrical tape, to line it up. You want to have it at just a fraction over your side more, not dead center, but about 1/2 to 1 inch away from the passenger side. So first of all, you've got to clean it all with some 100% alcohol. Now, bear in mind, be careful with this, because it took a bit of the shine off my dash. I had to use a bit of wipe new just to get that back again, but no big deal. I'd rather that way it sticks on properly. So that's where you're going to put it. Now, that ridge there, see that ridge it lines up with? You put that dead line on that ridge, which is easy to line up, and then you basically put a bit of electrical tape to center it. Like I said, just a fraction more on your side. Your knee won't touch it, and you just stick it on like that. You can see it's lined up with that ridge right across there, and that's an easy marker. Know the height you need to go, so you can't go wrong with that. Now, you'll notice that when you push on it, holds really well with the double-sided tape, and you can put it on yourself at this point and have a look at it and just double check, because you can always pull it off and readjust it, but that looks pretty good. Now, you'll see from this angle it looks a little bit crooked, because the dash is at the top kinks into the driver, while this stays dead parallel to that wall. So that's something you'll just understand. You just drill the holes very gently through, just pop through. There's nothing behind there. Where that is, there's nothing behind there, so you can just drill through very lightly, and then all you do is put 2 stainless steel screws in. Now, you will notice that there is a little gap you can see there on the side, but we'll address that in a second. Touch up the heads of the screws with a Sharpie pen. I found the little crack here on my handbrake button, so again I used that, and look how good it turned out, just complete. Okay, so now we're going to check how much wire we need. If we got too much, do we cut it off? How much to strip back, like at the end of that? I've just noticed that the bottom has come off a bit. It's just the angle that this has got a bend in it, and obviously this comes off, but I think I'm going to put some foam there, so that will support that, and the weight of this down will just push on that foam, and I don't want to drill any more holes, so just 2 at the top will be fine. That's how we're going to do it. In terms of hiding the wire, I'm going to run the wire down here and take it under here and poke it all the way around here. You won't see it, and because the screen will be there, you won't see the wire underneath, which is kind of cool. So let's get on with that. Okay, so as you can see, there is a gap there, a little gap. So to fix it, I've got a piece of rubber. It looks to be like about 4 mil, and it's high tensile rubber. As you can see, there you go, high dense, thick rubber. And we're going to cut little prongs off each end, as you can see, at that corner and that corner. So when you put it in, it just slides under here nicely on both sides, and it just fits up perfectly under there. And when you push it down, that will be enough pressure, so when the unit's on there, it doesn't wobble. It just supports that, and that'll stick to the other side of the double-sided tape. That's all you need. You won't even see it. See, it looks really good. Okay, so now get some heat shrink. I got this from Aldi. It's not bad. It's got all different levels and some solder and a soldering iron. And once you've actually got this part from Amazon, you've got to solder that on there, which I did. I actually crimped that one. I didn't solder it. And then I'll go ahead and solder the lead to a female 12 volt. You've got to plug that into there and tape it up pretty much under the dash. That'll provide your constant active from the fuse with a piggyback. That connects to the earth terminal, which is your negative. and then the other end gets put together with the Carpuride adapter. So let's go and wire that up, and we'll just double check it is 12 volts and it is correct polarity with a little adapter I got, and that's all you need to buy. Do that, you got your constant 12 volts. Now under here, if you look under here, there's a little screw connector there, you can sort of see. You undo that one, the other one is under that side there, then the whole thing just drops down like so, and you can actually access all the fuses. In the actual fuse box there'll be a little bit of paper. You bring it out and you've got all the fuses. The one we're looking for is the cigarette lighter, which is that one there, which is 65 or 127, sorry, not 20, 127. And 127 is going to be at the back there. The fuse diagram there you can see is 127. I'll let you screenshot all that, and then we can move on with the actual piggyback and put it in. And we're going to pull that out, and we're going to run it around the back here, and it'll easily run down here. I'm sorry if the camera works not that great. Okay, so for those of you that are not very experienced, a bit novice, want to do it yourself, the fuse diagram is that way. You turn it upside down like that, and the one we're looking for is 127, which that's the one at the very end there. And if you look at that diagram there, you look at the box, 127 is that yellow one right at the back there, that one there, right, because you've got those little ones running along there, those grey ones there, or brown ones, and then there's two yellow ones. That matches that diagram there, those little grey ones. And then obviously I haven't got all those fuses, I only got the 127 at the end, which is a cigarette lighter, you can see there. It's not very good at macroing, but 127 is what it is. So I've got to put the piggyback on that black yellow one at the back there. You can see it's got 20 amp on it, which is, we know it's a 20 amp. The cigarette lighter's a 20 amp. You have to run it behind the back here. So I've now, it's quite tricky. You can see up there, I got it in. It's a bit like gynecology work. As a surgeon, you've got to get your fingers up there, and so you can see at the piggyback there. I can just show you there, and now you've got room on the other side for it to stick out the other way, which is how you want the other fuses all free, because it cantilevers off the edge. That's the last fuse there for the cigarette lighter, so it works well. That will work really well when you when we actually close up the drawer. Okay, now in terms of finding a earth, one of the guys online said it was up here somewhere, but I can't find that. Screw's kind of missing. But I did find one. If you got a 2015, right the back up here, upside down, you'll see it just there. It's that blue, that little blue dash under, I think that means earth. So I'm going to take that torque off and put it on there, and that's all metal, that. So I suspect that's earth. And that blue line, I think, would be, it's under there, so you can see where it is now. Okay, well, let's get into it. Let's attach that and see if it's powered. I've put it up under there. I'm losing my flashlight. Now that's the earth with the blue thing on it. Right, let's have a look. Okay, now once you've got that, I recommend you testing the voltage, which I'm doing now. Right, so once it's 14.7 volts, you know you got the right voltage there, 14, 12, whatever. You plug in, say, a device, like this fan, and it works. Okay, so let's plug her in, moment of truth. We'll see if it works. Plugged in. Yay, it works. It works. Beautiful. Be happy with that. So we've got the power supply to it. Let's mount it in, and we'll have a look at how it looks. Okay, so I'll just tape that up, just not too ambitious, just so it doesn't move. It was tight anyway, so it doesn't matter. And now we're going to gather this up, and we're going to pop it under. I'll just get my torch. We're going to pop it under there somewhere, probably in that little back passage area there. I'd like to rest it in that little area there, but I don't want it rattling, so we'll find a spot for it. We don't want to lose it down the back. There's a speaker there for the pedestrian warning. But yeah, this has to be tucked up. So you push that behind there, and the other cable goes behind that bracket. and that'll give you clearance on the fuses when it closes. Let's have a look. Okay, now what I'll suggest you do is run the cable from the power supply with a bit of slack around the back of the unit, bring it round again, and then tuck it under here. Now you will see a bit of it here, but it will tuck under this back area and hold itself nice and tight. You can see there. It's not going to come out. You can probably even pop it right down that trim if you want to, but for all intents and purposes you won't see any wiring there once that's all done, which is really nice. I was able to close the glove box nicely with the wires all hidden underneath, and you can see it just runs up there, the back, which is way out of sight, and goes and doesn't get pinched on the drawer where you go into with the close the fuse box. It just, you can still feed it through with your hand and push it through. It looks like it's slack there, but it's not. It's nicely tucked under. You can just push it in that corner. You won't see at all from back here. It's all integrated into the system, and the trim. Boot up. Does it boot up? Yep, it does. Beautiful. So now that's the install, guys. So you can see anyone can do that. It's a pretty straightforward, easy setup. It's not the best angle of it. I'll show you in a second when it's finished. Okay, we're in. It's all installed. Let's have a look at it. There's your two normal screens coming down. That's how she looks. Look at that. Beautiful. The BMW badging and all that gloss on it, and the glass finish looks really premier, like a factory fit. I love the analog clock and the digital flip clock here. That's the dashboard for the Carpuride. I kind of like that. You can see it's got Apple CarPlay lit up there, which means in the background it's obviously Apple CarPlay is on. It wasn't hard to set up. The booklet, I won't go through it and waste time. The booklet shows you how to do it there, and there's a cheat sheet here which gives you the information, and you just follow that procedure there. That's all you need to do to get the Apple CarPlay working through your Bluetooth. Now I've gone for station this one here, 108, and then with 108 and linked back to the station guide, the FM transmitter. So you go to here and then FM transmitter. I've got 108 on that. That's what you set it for, and that will then work beautifully with your radio and dials on the actual system. I quite like that look there. I also do not like to have the brightness. I like to have it off auto brightness and just dial it down to nice and dark. So it kind of looks kind of really funky there with that sort of prestige with the clock. I'll probably use that a lot because I think that looks nice. If I am going to use the maps or use Apple CarPlay, you can still use the music through this with that interface on their particular dashboard. But if you want to do maps on here, you just go and click Apple CarPlay, and Apple CarPlay comes up, and you then do the maps. You can do everything. It's very smooth, very responsive. You look at Saab Unleashed in England. Stuart, big shout out to Stuart, and Zolotech, Aaron. You'll see these guys use the Carpuride system. It is #1 system in the world. I've had 43-degree days here. You can see here, and it hasn't even flinched or glitched. Also have the most roughest road I ride every day, drive every day to someone, and it hammers and chatters on the windscreen. These things haven't faltered at all. So it's a premier solid units. The technology, the electronics, the CPUs on them are absolutely incredible. It looks lovely with that third screen down there. You can also make it duller if you want. You can still access the cigarette lighter here, as you can see, so that's really good for doing the pump. It doesn't affect anything there. You can see the light's obviously still on there. So this is part of this auxiliary power supply that runs for 15 minutes only, then it'll turn off. You can actually do your apps, do your maps. You still got Apple CarPlay. You can still do your maps, and it's smooth. That is beautiful getaways. So you can still do everything there while you're actually technically off. But that's it, guys. I'm really happy with that installation. It's a really good look. Let's go for a day and a night ride, and I'll show you a drive, and I'll show you a few things. Okay, we're heading off with the day drive on the Carpuride 103. Look, this is a sunny day today. It's not a cloud in the sky. It's really, really sunny and glary. I've got the Carpuride platform interface dashboard on there now. I like that. I love the analog clock and the digital little flick. It's got a panache about it, like, Mercedes or European car. I like the look. And that's the darker screen, and you can see it still looks really good. This is only on half brightness. It works really well, and you can access it easily with your hand, and just click this button here straight to Apple CarPlay, and Apple CarPlay comes up incredibly well and quick. It's very, 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 very nice to access from here. To me, this is one really beautiful spot because it looks like a F-11 fighter pilot cockpit. You got the 3 screens. They're going to call me the king of screens after this, but it's like an army Swiss knife down there below with all this gadgetry. It's super smooth. If you want to have a cup in here as a cup holder, you'll still be able to access the screen by sight if it's a low coffee cup, and it clears both cups there, cup holders. I like having the iDrive system up here separately because it does give you all the functionality of the skeletal view of the car. If you haven't got a Rex, it comes up with not only the current flows to the battery and regenerative braking, but an orange motor comes up showing you the Rex is on. You can also access obviously things like your tire pressure, which I really do like to check regularly. Vehicle status, you can check the pressure of the tires. This here is such a beautiful piece of German engineering, this interface. It's just a shame to try and cover it up with something like an Apple CarPlay. I like this much better. Back to sat nav. Yeah, it just looks beautiful. You can also have the music now. This is exceptional setup because you can hit it hard, touch it, it doesn't rock, doesn't move. The way I've bolted this on, it really is quite an incredible firm setup. You're not going to have any movement or anything, and quite frankly, there's Jack from Carpuride. This is the support you're getting from the company. They're unbelievable. They'll send you the upgrade package with your logo, the boot up logo if you want. Let's have a look at the equaliser. And it's really, really good. This thing works incredibly. The digitized feeling of each individual tone and note as you adjust them. I was listening to the Beatles last night. It's so clear through the FM transmission. I'm doing that way so I can access quickly with one button and go back to my radio stations when I want the radio stations. I find that much more intuitive, and I don't mind lacking a bit of crackle or the odd little interference when you go through certain areas, but that means you listen to your radio. You have to toggle between the Bluetooth of the car or Bluetooth of the Carpuride. I think it's a much better setup, and I just really like it. Now this is super bright, super glary onto it now. You can still see it looks amazing, and then you just hit the Apple CarPlay, and look, it's incredible. Hey Siri, what's the time?
It's 13:29.
Super fast, super accurate. Hey Siri, what's the temperature outside?
It's currently 16 degrees.
Now, this is one of the nicest pieces of engineering and componentry build I've seen. And like I said, one of the leading people in the world who are doing these aftermarket Apple CarPlay. Look at the speed on this. Watch this. Oh my God, look at that, Jesus. Now, this is the most fastest production sort of car out there in this package. It's the only car that's been offered to the public with a full carbon frame, composite carbon fiber frameless suicide doors. Only seen the likes of in supercars or, McLarens or Lamborghinis. This is an incredible piece of not only engineering but collector's car. These batteries go on forever and ever. You really don't have to pay for an integrated system. I don't like it overlapping the screen with this beautiful iDrive system. I think it just spoils the engineering of BMW, and I just think there's no need for it, and this works out so much better. Not much more I can say about this particular install. I know what I'm doing. I'm an electrical fitter mechanic engineer. So that's it. Let's go through a night drive, and then I'll tell you my final thoughts and summing up on the whole thing, and give you some other little pro tips at the end. But yeah, let's go for a night ride. What I do love about the BMW i3 is when you unlock it, it comes up with this really beautiful blue interior accent. Nowhere else in the backlight doesn't come on, but just that lovely blue. Look at that, with the contrast lights in the doors, just beautiful. And then from that blue, when you open the door, you get this beautiful white, and the backlight comes on. So it's just a beautiful finish to what is an incredible lighting system on this car. It really is beautiful. Okay, so when you open the car, you're greeted with this. This is auto open. Comfort. Look at that. It opens up with that beautiful BMW boot up screen, and obviously when you put these on, there we go. And then we go straight to Apple CarPlay. So it really boots up really fast. So just open the back door. That's the kind of the look at night, and we come through here. It's just beautiful, and that's super bright. So I'll just show you how you turn that down. I like to manually do the brightness, and that's about the lowest. That is the lowest it goes, and that's quite nice. So I just like that down there. If you put Apple CarPlay on, of course, it's that. That's the lowest brightness it has. So it's a pretty powerful system. So at night time, you don't need much. Let's go for a drive, and I'll show you how it looks out in the road with the traffic. Okay, so here we're going on a pretty dark street. There's no real traffic lights here, or no lights. You can see it works really well, and toggle between and just access that so easily down there with your hand. You get your cup out. Pretty much a quiet street. How good that looks, and the Apple CarPlay. I think it's the best place to put your hand down there than any other position of this anywhere. Now, what I do like about having the 3 screens, using the FM transmitter on station number 8. If you run your finger along, you can see they all come up touch buttons. You can see what the stations are. Another clever little hack with this car. So if you often forget what your stations are, you know that you can actually, yeah, you can check out the station. We'll go across. Let's go to Google Maps. Google Maps. You can see that that basically BMW do their homework, and this drives like a BMW. Heavy steering, solid. Look at the satellite view there, beautiful. That's a nice size screen. You really don't want anything smaller. People are saying, oh, it's a bit big, but no, it clears both sides. My knee doesn't hit it, and I'm 5'11", and I've got the seat pretty close forward. So it is literally, you can watch your Netflix there, you can car mirror, you can do everything. So, you know, if you want to look at getting a Apple CarPlay, don't hesitate to look at getting the Carpurides. They're the Rolls Royce of the aftermarket Apple CarPlay head units, and they're also, not only that, they're just super responsive and quick. Okay, we're coming up over Curl Headland. You'll get a nice view, if you haven't seen Sydney, from Curl looking across to Manly. It's absolutely a breathtaking view. There's Manly across there. To be honest, the sound difference between a Bluetooth dedicated and actually just pretty much this, that's just an old 60s song, but the point I'm making is that you really would have to be an aficionado of classical music to pick up the difference of Bluetooth or the audio lead. To be honest, it's really impressive. And this, I feel the FM transmitter is pretty flawless in this unit and just works really well. And again, I'll put it back to that. So we're pretty much now going on a lit up street, and you can see what it looks like. So I hope that covers the night ride today, and a couple of little tricks and why I prefer FM transmitter over Bluetooth or audio cable. It just is the simplicity of just pushing those buttons, and it just works. Guys, I think that's going to wrap up the night ride. We'll go back now and we'll have a talk about the product and my final thoughts, summing up pros and cons and who I recommend it for. And yeah, thank you so much for coming out on a nice drive tonight. Geez, I love this BMW i3. If you're an i3 owner, don't even hesitate, just get this set up in your car. It is so nice. Well guys, thank you so much for making it this far into the video. If you have, it's been an epic unbox and first drive. The W103 Pro is got the new chipset, the 5.0 Bluetooth. Today's rating is 9.9 out of 10. That's no surprise. It falls in line with the rest of these ones I've got up here. I've done on the roof of the car, which for my BMW 118i, my Volvo XC90, my Saab Aero convertible, they all fell into the 9 category. This 9.9. I haven't given anything a 10 on my channel, but this is pretty close. The componentry, the build is unbelievable. You can see by my appearance, it's been 3 or 4 weeks since I installed it. I've been driving it every day. It hasn't missed a beat. And there's a link below to all the stuff I talked about, including there's a link to a little bit of commission, 2% for this to help the channel. Go to that link, but you'll get my personal concierge VIP service. If anything goes wrong with the purchase or the delivery, I'll interact for you with the company. That's a bonus to have that there. So consider subscribing to the channel for more content and sharing the video, and smash that like button. And obviously there'll be more stuff coming up. I can't thank you enough for today for watching, and obviously this is a highly recommended product. So till next time guys, I'll see you in the next video. Happy driving, safe driving. We'll see you in the next unbox. Now, I will let you know one thing. When you actually are going to turn the car off, you have to remember that the BMW i3 auxiliary power circuit, that's the 12-volt cigarette lighters, the front, the back, and the one under here. When you turn the car off, watch what happens. I'll just turn the car off. There we go. That's on now, obviously, and let's have a look. We'll turn it off, and then we'll switch it right off. There you go. Now, what happens now is, yeah, it's still going. So the auxiliary power circuits in this car stay on. This particular model, the 2015, 17 to 19, I think, stay on for exactly 10 minutes. Then that auxiliary power supply to the cigarette lighters goes off. So what you need to do, you can leave it and shut the door and walk away. There's only a small drain of power from that 12-volt battery, along with these little lights on here, until it all shuts down in 10 minutes. But I think the 2021 and 2022 stays on for 25 minutes or 20 minutes. A good concept, because what that does is if you're charging a car at a charging station, you've got maybe a dash cam. It'll stay on the whole time for 20 minutes, or if you're just parked your car somewhere, that dash cam will keep running. Security wise, and but in this case you don't want this to run because it obviously stands out. So what you do is you just go behind it here. There's a little button at the back. You hold it down for 2 seconds. It turns it off. Now you've got to get out of the car reasonably quickly, within about, say, maybe 2 minutes. And then what you do when you shut the car and then you lock it with the key, you'll notice that stays off, and within the next, say, 5 minutes it'll stay off. If you're going to go back to unlock the car and then lock the car, it'll stay off. But after about 5 minutes, that will reboot up again on the startup of the actual the next time you start the car. But that will save you draining any remote bit of power from the 12-volt battery. You don't want that to run for, it's only 9 minutes and 46, I think it's 10 minutes it stays on for. I've timed it, and then it turns all the auxiliary power off, including those little red lights on the dash. But like I said, that's a workaround. It's a quick little thing. If you're parking the car at night, just hold the button down and then you're good to go. However, one other consideration, if you are charging the car and you've got the i3 on the charge, this eventually goes off after about, well, I'll lock it and show you how the internal lights are all kind of on, and the Carpuride Apple CarPlay is on. We'll turn that off. It locks it. But you'll see it still has the charging information on the screen, and the Apple Carpuride Apple CarPlay is still running. And of course that light then goes off on the charger. Doesn't attract any attention. The car's all technically off except for the charging information on the screen there. But the problem is that, yes, the auxiliary power stays on the whole time the car is charging. So your Apple CarPlay will be on the whole time. The only way of getting that off is to go in, turn it off manually, like I did before when I locked the car for the night, or when you go somewhere to stop, and then that will isolate that. But it will stay on the whole time that you're charging. Now, I don't know, the jury's still out whether when the Carpuride auxiliary switch for the 12-volt circuit's always on the whole time it's charging. I've tested it for 2 hours of charging. It was staying on the whole time. The auxiliary circuit for the cigarette lighter 12-volt circuit was staying on the whole time it was charging. So I'm not sure if that's charging the battery and it's also topping up the 12 volt, or that auxiliary circuit is just running from the 12 volt only, and therefore could be draining it a bit. And this is a complete different circuit on the charging the HV battery. Whether, you know, that auxiliary circuit stays on for, like I said, a dash cam while you're charging, so you can keep an eye on it, but does that drain the battery? Let me know in the comment field if you know if that 12 volt auxiliary circuit is actually staying on the whole 2 hours while you're charging from the actual 12 volt, or is it coming on from the main battery in this charger from the wall? Be good to know. Thanks. What? You're still here? Cool. Listen, why don't you watch some of these other videos I've made in the past along the same lines what you just watched, in the same kind of category. Enjoy.